Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to Keeping Fish Simple. So in today's video, we're gonna be doing the top 5 dither fish for your aquarium. Now, in this video, we're gonna talk about 5 really good fish to put like above some scared or like shy fish in an aquarium to make them like come out a bit better or feel a bit more comfortable. Basically in today's video, I'm gonna give you guys some recommendations and some little pieces of information on each one of these fish to make sure you have some success with them. And without any further ado, let's get started. So quickly before I start getting into the list, you guys might be asking like, what's a dither fish or why should I have a dither fish? So some fish in the aquarium hobby, for instance, plecos and things like that, come from an environment where they're like in the bottom of a river or something like that, like a lake. And normally they're used to having lots of little tiny tetras and things like that swimming around them. Now, when those fish aren't around, it normally means that there's predators around. So they go and they get scared and they hide and they're really on alert looking for these predators because they're used to seeing the tetras and stuff like that around, the dither fish. What we can have in our aquarium is we can have some plecos or something like that in an aquarium, and they can have no dither fish above them, and we might not even know it, but the whole time they're not coming out because they're scared because they think there's a predator around. So dither fish can be really useful to make lots of shy corridories, plecos, for instance, are the first thing that come to my head, come out. But another thing dither fish can do is also try and take away aggression from fish towards each other. So for instance, if we've got like 2 rams in a tank, so some German blue rams in a tank, and they're constantly fighting. It's the same with angelfish. They're constantly looking at each other, trying to take a certain spot of the aquarium and do the same thing towards each other. What if we add, say, some fish around, so some tetras around in that aquarium, they're gonna be constantly looking around and trying to fight off the tetras instead of each other, and basically they're just gonna eventually give up, and then maybe every now and then they can, like, you know, get aggressive towards each other, but for the most part, they're not going to be aggressive, and basically the dither fish can become really useful for that. So with that being said, number 5 on my list is going to be Rasboras. So this includes like lots of little micro Rasboras, so chili Rasboras, harlequin Rasboras, lamb chop Rasboras, you name it. All of these guys are really good dither fish. So basically any schooling Rasbora is going to be really good in like a nano aquarium or like a 10-gallon tank with some plecos or something like that, just to make them feel a little bit more comfortable in that aquarium. So Rasboras are generally very easy to take care of. They take like a 6 to a 7.5 pH. You're going to want to get like 6 to 8 of these guys at least. I'd recommend probably getting like 15 if I could. And they're gonna school around the aquarium like neon tetras would or something like that. Very easy to take care of. They'll just eat flakes and little micro pellets and stuff like that. They're very easy to take care of. In general, they're a very good display fish. They're not gonna easily breed in that aquarium, so they're not gonna like overpopulate your aquarium like Guppies could, and a very good dither fish to add to your aquarium. And then number 4 on my list is gonna be a dither fish for quite a large tank. So if you've got like a 55-gallon with some bigger types of fish or a lot of like little tiny, like you've got a big aquarium, a really good dither fish is going to be Rainbowfish. So personally, I would recommend getting maybe some Bozemanis or some dwarf neon rainbows. I'd get like, again, like a school of 8 to 10 of these guys, maybe even more if I could. They're going to just go around the top and they're going to be all schooling and stuff like that. And they're going to hopefully act as a really good dither for a lot of your scared or shy fish. These guys aren't going to be like great to have fish taking aggression out on, so you don't really want to like have angelfish in there and try and diffuse the aggression with these guys because they're not going to be the best option for you. But these guys, if you've got plecos in your tank, can be a really good fix for creating making the plecos feel safe. So super easy to breed as well. All you need to do is make a spawning mop and chuck it in there and take it out, and basically it will have eggs on it. If you have kept your fish well fed and comfortable, they'll take any kinds of food. So I personally feed lots of tropical flakes, some pellets, and every now and then I'll give some bloodworms or something like that just to vary up the diet. But one of my favorite fish, super cool looking, and they will take that pH of 7.5 down to 6 like the Rasboras will. Personally, I keep these guys. They look really cool and I breed a lot of these guys as well. And then number 3 on my list is going to be Guppies. So these guys, not one of the best dither fish out there, but I had to put them in this list because they are a dither fish. So I would recommend these guys in maybe like a basic community aquarium where you're just trying to get like a pleco or something to come out. Some Guppies are going to be really good because they're just going to swim around the top, and you know, the pleco is going to feel like there's no predators around or anything like that. I wouldn't recommend keeping these guys with big fish like angelfish, for instance, because the angelfish are just going to gobble them up when they're big enough, because angelfish get quite big and their mouths are going to be able to fit those little tiny baby guppies and juvenile guppies in their mouth. So it can become quite a mess, but these guys are really good. Like I said, just in a community tank with some cories or something like that, that's how I would use this dither fish. And then number 2 is going to be Danios. So I'm referring to your leopard Danios and your zebra Danios. These guys are gonna be good in either a small tank, so like a 10, 20 gallon tank, you have like 6 to 8 of these guys in there, or a big 55 gallon tank, because these guys are super darty. They're so crazy fast. It's like they're, you know, they're just nuts. And these guys will swim around, but they're really, really good in tanks with like angelfish, for instance, because they're so quick, the angelfish can't really get them and hurt them or anything like that, and they get quite big, so they can't fit in their mouths or anything like that. A school of these guys are gonna go around the aquarium together. If you guys wanna see, I've bred a ton of these guys, there's gonna be like a link up here so you guys can watch that video, but super, super cool fish, and one of the best dither fish, in my opinion, on this list. And then the number 1 dither fish on this list is gonna be the neon tetra. And this is just gonna be because these guys are cheap, they probably look the best, and like, I mean, it's gonna cost you like $30 to $40 to get like a school of 20 of these guys in your aquarium, and it's gonna look absolutely amazing, because basically an aquarium, like a planted aquarium with a ton of neon tetras, is like a guaranteed good looking tank, and these guys are gonna do a great job. So I wouldn't keep these with like angelfish, but I would keep these in an aquarium with some apistogrammas or some dwarf cichlids, so maybe some crebensis, or even some German blue rams, and these guys will go really, really good. So I've got a whole breeding series if you guys wanna watch it on how to breed neon tetras. I bred a few of these guys and it was pretty fun, and I've also got a care guide up here as well if you guys wanna watch that. So basically, that's gonna be the video. Thank you guys so much for watching it. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.